So what I'd like to do is kind of like do this a little bit differently, which
Mhm.
is I have not addressed your audience at all. So we've just kind of like, you just do it and then you share it with them and they all, they all poke fun and they do whatever.
They
But
know. They
I
love
know, I
it.
know. I'm just kidding. So what I'd like to do is sort of have like feel like they're there here with us and you and me talk, and I want to kind of do a summary of my last 4 sessions on how it's impacted my life because they haven't seen that yet.
Do you want to do it
And
right
like,
now?
yeah, we're going to do it. Like they're going to see this part right here, what I think. And then, we'll just kind of walk into it as in like we're starting that session, but you're going, okay, Ken, let's talk about, the session 1, 2, 3 and whatever. And then I will give an impact on not only like as someone who's very in touch with my body and myself as an athlete, but like how we're doing this stuff, in my interpretation of when you look at brainwave data, when you look at heart rate data and what kind of an effect on it, on the body that I think it is having for people who are maybe like aren't in that space. And even for people who are in that space, I've seen Andrew Huberman's podcast and I can correct that guy, like, cause he's not where I'm at. He doesn't use his body to try to win stuff. So when he says things, I'm like, no, it's like not really how that works. But
I love that
anyway,
you're like, the whole world is going to see this. And I'm going to, Ken told me not to swear earlier. Just kidding. He didn't say that, but he bleeps out my swears. So I'm going to say, S talk. I love that you're S talking while you're like, this is going to go public.
I have no problem. And, I told a bunch of my friends, like in your audience, and I've told you know this, is that like one of my main goals is to have like a Joe Rogan, Jocko level show.
Yeah.
I want to succeed them.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're failing, but there's always a new generation. There's always a new evolution. And I want to represent that evolution. Me and you right now represent my training to get there because I don't think I'm there just yet.
Well, and also I know people in my inner circle understand this, but publicly, Ken is also training me and helping me to get better and better and better. And so if anybody's been watching my trajectory in the last couple of months, Ken is a massive catalyst. I would say the catalyst for me changing so much. And I mean, I would not be strapping this stuff to my body if Ken wasn't part of this. So yeah, they're watching a lot of really fun growth.
Yeah, good. All right. So
Do you want to do the summary of 1, 2, 3, 4? How it's impacted you? Yeah.
Yeah. So let me go into kind of like a background on how like I looked for her. And so basically there's things that I wanted to master in my life because of the person that I want to be. And I've done a lot. Like I've gotten to the point where I feel in my own mind that I've mastered certain disciplines and I can rinse and repeat in other ones. And what I thought was like, I needed to get my body straight. I had a lot of injury and I was just having a tough time figuring out why I kept repeatedly getting these injuries, even though I know how to train, know how to fix them. And so I just thought there must be something psychological going. And I know neurological stuff, but I wasn't super like good on psychological things that as much as I wanted to be. So I was like, I think hypnotherapy is where I need to go because it's a discipline that I just don't know a lot about, even though I use YouTube videos in hypnotherapy, hypnosis inductions, like all the time. I make my own. I'm like, maybe I'm not like doing this right. And so that's when I looked for a hypnotherapist on Google Maps who's local. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, I need to get someone that this is not a transactional relationship, that this is a transformative relationship. All of my relationships, I insist, are non-transactional, always transformative. And so she was literally the first result that came up. And I was like, ooh, I think I like this gal. So here we are.
She's number one. Yeah.
I really think that this was guided. Like,
yeah.
just wasn't an accident. And so I'm super excited, super happy, and very, very thankful. Every day I'm thankful. And so that's what brought us, is she's helping me go through the luggage that I've accumulated in my life, not only having a brain injury, but having deployed multiple times, combat areas, seeing death, decay, being homeless, loss that everyone experiences in their life. And then just living like a life of, I've never done almost anything for myself. Like all my decisions are for the betterment of others. And I have to learn that now. And so that's what she's helping me with. And I want to be able to learn and not master hypnotherapy, but like be able to apply it in such a way that I understand its power. So when I'm talking to someone else, I go, no, it'd be great. Not creatine supplement, like hypnotherapy. That's a better solution, so.
I wonder though, if you are going to master hypnotherapy, it is tough to fall in love with hypnosis and not eventually become a practitioner, just because you see how powerful it is. It's a very common thing that happens.
Yeah, I learned neurolinguistic programming many years ago, and I apply it like every day. And I learned reality creation and manifestation, which I view as kind of like a sister, of hypnotherapy. And so, yeah, like I can do a handshake interrupt on people. Like, I mean, like I can do that kind of stuff, but it's still not like, and I can go in and I do this thing called memory degaussing, where I can go in and help people like delete and change memories and stuff. And I do that to myself, which is super powerful when they have traumatic memories. But the thing is, they have to know about those. And with hypnotherapy, you've gotten into places that I didn't know existed. And that is the big thing, is the unknown unknowns that we talk about, like in military operations. So I would love to be able to just be able to have someone break free, of the shackles of whatever that they're dealing with,
Yeah.
So
I have a question, just to get a little bit more information about your background. For me, I have a lifetime theme of being trapped. Like I was a forceps baby. So in my entry into the planet, I was trapped. Like I couldn't get out. And so up until very recently, that's been a lifetime theme for me that I just finally graduated from. So when you were talking about freeing people from shackles, you're basically speaking my love language, where I think freedom is the ultimate. Do you have something in your background where you are drawn to freedom?
yeah, I mean, I was, when I was like homeless and stuff, I was shackled by like my history. And so what sucks about society is you kind of have a track record. And so you have to fight against this past that you can never change many times, because especially now in this digital world. So for me, I went into the world as an adult with all of this trash when I was in high school that you just can't change. I can't change that I've been expelled by an entire county. Like I have to live with that forever, right?
Okay.
And
First of all, hilarious. Second of all, no one cares anymore. Like the industry that you're in, or the profession that you're in, I get it. But outside of that, I don't think people care. And frankly, lots of people would see that you don't listen to authority, which means you're a free thinker, right? Like a lot of people get how that's a benefit.
but to answer your question on being trapped,
Mhm.
like I came in and I was like, I have to so far extricate myself from that I am no longer like, I have no genetic connection between that person. So that's when I just went all the way far forward. And then when that coach was like, Ken, you're never going to be a really good triathlete, I felt trapped again. And I'm like, no, I'm going to be so far ahead. Like, I'm not even going to share the genes of that person that you think that you saw. And so, yeah, 100% of like I cannot stand when society or the bureaucracy or stupid leadership traps people in because of manual processes or because of like, hey, this is a system in your, the thing that drives me out of control is when you call something for help and there's no humans and the buttons just cycle back and forth. I just want to like, oh, I don't want to talk violence, but like it really ticks me off because I'm smarter than a lot of folks who will call. You get elderly people or kids or people who have brain injuries or they have talking problems, and they're hosed. They're hosed, and I hate that, man. So yes, I want to be able to free people from the shackles of the luggage that they don't know that they have, because that is just, that's the worst sentence. I don't know if that answered your question.
It does answer it. And I'm also wondering if it is accidentally, totally on purpose, part of the pre-talk. Like, do you want to find out if there's anything else that you're supposed to be freed of?
I didn't think about that.
Okay.
But I mean, if it's there, yeah, I want to like excavate and like remove. Like, you are no longer welcome here. Thank you. You've been squatting for a while, but we've changed the zoning and you're the hell out of here.
What are you talking about right now?
Some people will understand.
Okay, I'm just writing the words fully free.
That's fine.
Okay. Is this a homeless story?
What?
You said squatter?
No, just it's a
Okay.
thing,
Okay.
like if I have things in my mind that I don't know about, those things are squatting.
I
They're
understand now.
squatters.
I
Yeah.
got it. Okay. I'm gonna write including the squatters. Here's a really interesting thing about hypnosis that a lot of people do not realize, including professional hypnotherapists. So a lot of people feel like you have to go into the trauma, the history, the whatever, and you have to re-experience all of the negative things and you have to become consciously aware of it. Can that be helpful? Sure. Is it necessary? No. So if you want to become aware of anything that might still be in there, consciously become aware of it, address it, release it, we can do that. But we can also more efficiently say, we know it's in there subconsciously. Let's go ahead and release it subconsciously. It can happen that easily. So it's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm initially like skeptical on that, but like,
even after the Tumblr/vomit session.
yeah,
What do you think that was?
Well, I just associate that with like my body taking control. I just don't know. I guess I need that with the mind, I guess.
So you do like the conscious awareness. That makes it a little bit more solid for you, more believable.
I don't know.
I'm just going to write conscious or subconscious, whatever is better for you.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to tell me anything more about what you want to experience today, or do you want to talk about your summary of the impact of sessions 1, 2, 3, and 4?
So yeah, let's just go on a background for folks too, and because I don't think we've done this either really, but so I think the biggest collectively is that I feel definitely less weight, like cloud, and so like I feel like I have less cloudiness weighing on me, and I'm very more clear and articulated, and I have now this necessity for vision. And so like I was very visionary before, but now like I demand the vision that I did not demand that when others were involved. And so like, at work or whatever, and it's like, yeah, this person's wishy-washy, whatever, I don't care. Now I'm just like, no, look, if I'm going to be involved in this, I need to know what is going to happen in a month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, because now I'm more clear, I'm more driven, and I'm objectively like moving things forward. And so that was a big thing, and it has changed everything in my life, where I was coaching myself athletically. I was coaching myself, and is kind of like all over the place. Things would be kind of like on demand. You could still win, right? But now I'm like, no, no, no. Let me do like the 12-month schedule. Like right now, all I care about is 12 months from now, I'm world champion. Like that's what I want to be. And I'm like, okay, what are the things that need to be to do that? So now I have a 12-month training program. I haven't had that, oh my God, in like over 10 years. And so, and other things. And now like I called up my 2 companies and I'm like, hey, look, I just did it today too. I'm like, hey, look, I'm going after that CTO position. Right. So just get it ready. In about a year, I'm going to come out and this is what's going to happen. And they're like, okay.
I
Um,
assume that means chief technical officer. We're talking about the same thing.
Chief technology officer. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And like, we spoke before we started recording on like being a mayor. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so like one of the calls today was like, we kind of like want you up here. And I was like, okay, well, what's the city I need to be running? And they're like, well, this city, that'd be really cool. I'm like, okay. And like, oh, I never had that before, where it'd just be like this idea. And now I understand the difference between a wish, a vision, and a goal and an objective. And so like I'm just allocating things to those and going, okay, this is it, and I need to get there. So all you people get in line and we're going to go there.
When you were
So that's,
communicating about what city, are you talking to someone on the phone or are you
yeah,
connecting with your team?
no,
Okay. I'm so used to having conversations this way that I have to find out who you're talking to.
yeah. Maybe I need to like move over to that direction a little more.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
you know how
maybe
they
this
say,
is,
yeah. Well, you know how they say you're the sum of the top 5 people that you spend time with? Let that be part of the top 5. Yeah. You can hear this dog or not.
the dog that just barked.
A lot.
Yeah.
He's still barking. The
And
dog likes the idea.
I think our robot is vacuum cleaner is going too. So if you just tell me, I'll walk out
I
there.
can't hear it. So everybody who wonders about can you have hypnosis with distraction, the answer is yes.
Oh my
So,
God.
including
An
vomit,
asteroid could have hit my house last time. I would have kept going.
right? The asteroid would have gotten out of your way. Well,
Yes.
okay. So to finish the summary about session number 1, what's also very interesting is I had a similar outcome where I started to really hold other people to a higher standard, those who were around me. So you know how you were saying if somebody didn't really have an idea, you were like, okay, whatever. And now you're just like, no, like it needs to be clear. We need to move forward. So same thing with me, where if somebody was in my sphere and they were a little wishy-washy about whatever, and I would just be like, oh, okay. And I would make excuses for them. And now it's just like, you're either in or you're out. And they have to demonstrate very actively that they're in. And if they don't demonstrate it, like I have to move on. So it's very interesting that both of us ended up saying like, okay, those in our sphere, you have to be at a certain level. Otherwise we have to go. So
When did that happen for you?
right when our session starts. So it's going to be session 1. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm very serious. I've become a little bit of a machine and I like it. Yeah. Like I don't talk to a lot of people that I used to talk to. I don't put up with things. And so for the spiritual people who are watching, I think this is very important. So shortly after our first session, I ended up running into a guy at a cafe. And I had just made a wish that I wanted to meet a videographer who was somebody that I could work with in person because, I'm a little nervous about technology, et cetera, et cetera. So I make a wish for a videographer. He, that same week, makes a wish for gig economy. What's it called? When you have like just a brief contract work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a gig economy. Yeah.
Yeah. So he makes a wish, I make a wish. We run into each other at a cafe and we end up chatting with each other and we find this out. Now, old me, pre-Ken, the BK, before Ken, old me, right? Old me would have been like, oh my gosh, the universe, I made a wish and he made a wish. And then he would have been quiet and I would have made excuses for him. And I would have said, no, 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 no. The universe brought us together. Like, and I would make all these excuses for him. I was totally different with him where I said, like, we got each other's phone numbers and I texted him and I was like, hey, show me a sample of your work. Old me would have never done it. I just would have been like, the universe lined it up. I'm like, no, I want to see a sample of your work. And so he doesn't write back for a couple of days. And before he even wrote back, I was like, this is not a partner for me. Like, you need to be able to write to me immediately. You need to be excited about your work. I want to be able to see it. I want to know. I don't give a S about if it seems like this spiritual cosmic connection that we both made this wish. I don't care. I need to see a sample of your work and I need to know that you're going to reply quickly and that we can actually bang, 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 move things forward. So that's new me. Yeah.
So does that mean that like your conversations with your team are not clear enough?
This team?
Yes.
I think they're clear.
Because, well, here's the deal, right? It's like I gained 20 pounds training for a Ninja Warrior and I got really afraid after a while, like, man, I'm really heavy. Like, I'm not nailing these things properly, as you all saw in session 3, 4.
3 is dull.
Session.
3
Yeah,
is dull,
4.
4 is puking.
Yeah. So as I talked about in 4, me not landing this thing and hurting my foot or whatever. So I got sick and I couldn't eat and I got whatever and I dropped pounds that I wanted. And it's like, no, I wasn't clear enough. So maybe you wanted to get this videographer, but
Okay,
you weren't clear enough on like, I need a dude who's ready to go, who has the time. And he just goes, oh my God, this is perfect. You're perfect. Let's do this. And we rock and roll, right? Maybe you weren't clear enough. Is that?
I understand. Not detailed enough. I get it. I get it. Yeah.
So is that,
Well,
is it something that you got from that then?
Yes. And what's also funny is the way that you come into my world, right? Is that I made a series of like 4 wishes of needing this, 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 and this, had no clue that it could all be within the same person, but was very clear in the wishes of what I needed. And then Ken messages me in like within the next 24, 48 hours and has like all of the things. So yeah, specificity seems to be a winner.
Okay. So okay. I wonder if there is a connection between the lack of specificity, which I think is intentional in such a way because we're maybe like trying to set ourselves up for failure subconsciously, and the unknown luggage that's back there. So I'm willing to bet that we just made a connection between like, okay, why was I not clear enough on, like, for me, example, like, why didn't I just go, hey, this weight should make me stronger, faster, no matter what, right? Why did I go, oh my God? And, so there has to be a reason why I self-sabotaged what I was trying to do this year. And so I want to go in and like, that shit needs to like, you're out. I don't have the time. I don't have the patience. And frankly, like, I just need to be more present. Right. And so
More
maybe
present
that's why
and
we're having,
engaged, because the specificity is a form of being highly engaged in your own life.
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm not specific enough, then I'm just kind of like, not really committed.
Sounds like it. If that's what we're honing in on, and I think that we are, because if you think about it, and I say this to my students all the time, because they're like, well, how do you do that? How do you do that? I'm like, treat the universe. Oh God, I need to take my own advice. Here we go. I say to them, treat the universe like it's a real person, because it is. It is a real relationship. And so if we were working with a real person, we would be very specific in the way that we asked for something. We would never say, like I say to the universe all the time, like, you know what I want? Like, I cannot imagine saying to my assistant, you know what I want? And then if she gets it like half right, like I can't be mad at that, right? Because I mailed it in. I didn't really try with my wish. I was lazy in my wish. So, and in any relationship, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. And if you're putting into it vagaries, then what you're getting out of it would be at that same mediocre level.
Okay, boom. This is great. So I think we're unifying now, like the reality creation manifestation and writing things down and visualizing it. And then the precipice of like where it becomes mental self pleasure, right? And so there has to be a point where it's like, okay, so for me, I just feel like I'm going to execute this options trade that's going to net me a boatload of cash, right? And I could sit there and go through every single day for a year and mess around with options trades. But after a certain time, like it's just, it's not going to work. And so I think that like we've got to figure out the real no kidding system of like, okay, this is what I want. I want total financial freedom in 6 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be from some kind of options trade. Okay, so now what do? Do I just go, boop, universe, go? Or do I still need to do like 2 or 3 more steps?
I think probably the best way is to treat it like it's a real conversation, because it is a real conversation, and just say to the universe, is there any information that I have not included that I should, right? Or universe, could how when you're communicating with somebody and then like if there's been miscommunication in the past, you might say to them, can you go ahead and tell me what your understanding is of what I just said? Right?
Oh yeah. Let me rephrase it so I make sure I understand, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you could say to the universe, like, hey, can you show me a picture of what it looks like in 2 months, 6 months, whatever it is, based on what I've just said? Could you show me what the results are, what the outcome is?
Okay. Say the last part because there's like crazy. I had to boot that thing out of here. Okay.
Oh, the vacuum cleaner. Okay. So all I was saying is that you could put out your wishes, your requests, and then say to the universe as part of that meeting, universe, show me what does life look like in 1 month, 3 months, 10 years, whatever it is that is the time frame that you're concerned with, and just say, like, based on what I've just given you, what is the outcome? What's the result? And then you can actually get like a report generated where you can see like what's the outcome, and then you can go, oh shit, oh, I did not specify that I want X. And that's clearly demonstrated in the way that this was just brought back to me. So you can think about, I mean, it's like input output data, right? You need the ones and the zeros, or you're not going to get the result.
Okay. So maybe we need to do this tonight so I get a better understanding.
I think it's a good idea. I think I'm going to call it the ones and the zeros. Like you have to put the information in, or the results do not come back at you.
And how do I know if like what I want? I mean, is there a like what I want is different than what like I'm here for?
It's always good to ask that follow-up question. So a lot of people in my circle, they will say that is of greatest benefit to all. Like they'll make a wish and tag on that it's of greatest benefit to all. I like to tag on the wish happy, healthy. So like all of the stuff that I'm asking for, I want the happy, healthy version of it. Because there's a hard way to get to the outcome and there's a fun way to get to the same outcome. I want to do the happy, healthy one.
Sounds like yours is very different than theirs, though.
You can blend them.
Okay. Okay. All right. So the other sessions were, I mean, like, wow, man. I had not experienced anything like very clearly other sidey kind of thing, right? And so, when I had my accident, I had like a near death experience. And I've had these feelings, and I know that there's like some connective fabric and everything, but to have like, you know, Dolphin show up and like explain things, and then you had just looked at him like that day, and then you send me this video. I mean, it was just like, holy cow, like that's incredible. There's no way that this is like accidental. And then the session where I was in the tumbler just blew my mind.
To be clear to everybody, Dolph Lundgren, session 3, and Tumblr, session 4, just because
Yeah.
it'd be easy for them to go back and look.
Yeah. I mean, just really. And then, my uncle, what was that, 2?
1.
1.
Uncle
Yeah.
Frank is session 1.
Yeah. He
Bat Wings
passed.
is session 2.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah. Just was like moving, just major emotion, significant emotional event is what I call them. C, you get to see, right? SE. And so all of them were significant emotional events in their own right. And it seemed like they occurred in a sequence that I could not do or understand the next one without that preceding one. And when the tumbler came, man, holy crap. Like I could not. I was in the bathroom, and I was just like going like this to the universe, and just like in my body, and like just my existence. And I was like, wow, if my mind can do that and make it that real, there is power here that I've got to learn how to use.
Yeah.
And that sealed the deal, like I could not believe that. If you guys watched that, oh my gosh, like that was one of the most profound experiences in my entire life. So
Yeah, and what's funny is if you pay attention to the way that I'm facilitating that session, 2 things to take in consideration. 1, if I had not been a practitioner in that moment and we were just hanging out with each other and you needed to puke, I would have approached all of that totally differently. I'm like, are you okay? Like, do you need anything? You want me to get crackers, ginger ale? I can, I would have been like Nurse Courtney. But we're facilitating a session, right? And like something comes in and just takes over me and is like a thug. I'm like a spiritual thug. And I'm like, here's your mantra that you need to say while you're vomiting. So it's very interesting how like there's this energy where it's like we're here for business and this is very, very important that he experiences this and this is what needs to happen during that. And then the other thing is because I've known you're my 4th puker, and actually I'm my 3rd puker. So I've seen this happen to a few people, and consistently so far, if somebody has a vomit as part of their session, their life immediately upgrades in a big way. This is not a little thing. This isn't like a promotion at your job. This is like big, big upgrade. So when you started to get the pukes, all I wanted to do was high five you. Congratulations. Yeah, it's amazing.
yeah, I'm still processing it, too. And it's crazy because we live in such a material world, and all this stuff has been so immaterial, and I need to move to that direction, to be a little more immaterial based.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I call it bridging. So you're very, very good with the material. The fact that you have trained your body the way that you have is amazing. The fact that you're so comfortable with tinkering with technology, amazing. So you're exceptional with the material and you're bridging now so that you can do both things. I've been the opposite. I'm exceptional with la, 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 all this stuff. And then I'm like, but do I have to touch a computer? Right. So yeah, so it's important to be able to do both really well.
Well, you just have a team, right? And so each person brings something cool, and you can keep specializing if you need. So,
Yep.
all right. Getting
Is
late.
there anything you wanted to say about summary for 1, 2, 3, or 4, or are you good? I have to ask this because I think, hold on, there's a question that was asked and I hope that it comes to me. It was based on session 2. I've got it. Okay, I have 2 sessions based on session 2. Mine is, how is the kitchen cravings prophylactic going? And then the other question is, none of us have met the bat species before. Like, this is a new species, even though a lot of us have seen a lot of things. And you said in the session that there are others that are like you, and that they're also, some of them are also on Earth. And so she was wondering about, are you going to try to meet any of them?
Yeah, so let me do the first one, which is absolute total change in that. Yeah. So I don't down that shit anymore. And so, and what's been very interesting is I have to rewatch that because I think you planted some crap in me, because when I did take some junk, which is, you know, some cookies, I am starting to stink really badly now when I eat cookies.
It's like you've taken in a poison basically, and your body's saying, like, no.
I mean, I mean, yes. So one cookie, and the next day, if I, you know, I work out every day, I sweat every day, right? And so I was like, shit, man, like one. And if one day I think I had like three, and I was like, I had to take alcohol and just like wipe it all over my body. And I'm like, man, I know she did something, man. Like, I noticed something that's like, something's going on with me. And so now I look at it and I'm like, are you prepared to smell like tomorrow? Right. And I'm like, no, man, I don't even care about that anymore. And so I'll have a carrot.
It's a carrot for a carrot. It's the stick of the cookie. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. A, I didn't do that. Not. I mean, if I did it, I don't know I did it. But B, I think they did it, and they will do things like that. On February 3rd, which I love the 2323 because it was the year of 2023. On February 3rd, I had a hypnosis session. I made a wish to go into the timeline where, in a happy, healthy way, I'm doing all of this big stuff. Like the big successes, big career, love, family, like the whole thing. I was like, I want to go into that timeline. I went to the gym and did body pump like an hour later, immediately felt weird. Shouldn't have. There was no reason for it. Then went out with my body pump instructor, who she's also my neighbor. We went to play this game called Bunko with her friends. I had 2 glasses of wine. That's it. That's not like that much. It was also a clean crafted wine, so it's the healthier version. I've had it before. I had it with a large dinner, also food that I've had before, and was hungover for 3 days. And to
Yeah.
this day, this is almost 4 months ago. To this day, if I see alcohol on the screen or even think about it, I immediately gag reflex. And so I think that what they're doing, you know how we were saying that we're holding our people to a higher standard? I think our teams are holding us, I'm getting goosebumps right now, that they are holding us to a higher standard. And they're like, well, we're going to make you smell, we're going to make you have a gag reflex because we need you two to be like sharp.
So what's really interesting that you said that is, years ago I did that with alcohol. And some, like, I have a family that we have some history with this, right? And we have
Same.
lives taken. And at one point, you know, when my sister passed, and I talked about this in session 1, right?
They don't know about it.
Yeah.
But I do. Yeah.
You know, it was alcohol related. And I just said, like, I am never touching that stuff. And if I look at it, I want to gag. And I just look at, all I can see is like all this evil that is just around that substance.
Yeah.
It just says nothing good comes from me. And when I'm out, like, and I'm serious, like I'm religious on it, man. Like, I have in the past maybe 5 years, like, taken some, and if it's more than like 3 sips, instant, like I'm hosed. And so I'm very interested that, if that came from, we were being recruited to each other, because that's a great gift to not have to deal with alcohol is really great.
Well, what's interesting is you basically get a cookie hangover, right? You know how you said if you have one cookie, you have to sleep another 15 minutes, you have
Oh,
to like go to the bathroom, you have all of these things that you have to do. So you get cookie hangovers. And then for me, it was a real roll of the dice. Like, am I going to be fresh the next day if I've had alcohol before? Sometimes, yes. But then a lot of times I would be, and I know this is a funny sentence, but I would be like a normal person the next day. Like, I wasn't as creative, I wasn't as intelligent, I wasn't as
yeah.
motivated. I was just like a normal person. I was like, this sucks being like a normal person. And that's what alcohol would do to me. And I think that the universe is like, Courtney, we didn't put you here to be normal. What are you doing? Yeah.
So another thing that I've noticed too is with my structured workouts, which I've been on now for about 2 weeks, I'm looking at these workouts and I'm like, this is a joke. Like, I could do 3 of these. I normally do 3 of these workouts, maybe even 12 of these that you're having me on one day. And yesterday it hit me hard. And today again, where I did this workout that it wanted me to do. And I was like, okay, I'm going to give this thing like one more week and then I'm going to go real. I had so much patience and clarity and love with my kids. I was so present. And I was like, I wonder if this is a gift I'm being given. And then today I was at soccer practice with my little ones, and my little ones too. And he can't play soccer. He just runs around like causing all kinds of craziness.
He's the mayhem. Yeah.
Yeah. And he just was, I did a nice light workout today on the bike, and I just felt really good all day. And I had so much energy. I must have thrown him up in the air 150 times. People coming over and they're like, dude, you're really like making us look bad over here. Cause they would sit there in their chairs with their iPhones and ignore their
Good,
kids. And
good, good. They should have that positive peer pressure. They should have it.
yes.
That needs
Yeah.
to, you've planted a seed in them. That needs to change. Okay, good. And okay, so this is very interesting. So those who are watching, Ken and I don't talk every day, so you're getting to watch it catch up. In the last 2 weeks, my energy levels have changed, but for a different reason. Remember, I sent you the picture of those supplements? Like,
Mhm.
I have desperately needed to figure out like how to not have a crash. And so in the last 2 weeks, I figured out the supplements work really well. I'm able to get up at 3:33 every morning. And then I've also learned that I absolutely cannot eat until the evening, because it's kind of like the alcohol. It's a roll of the dice. Maybe I'll be fine after I eat, but maybe I'm going to go into a food coma, even though I've eaten the same thing. So yeah, the last 2 weeks I've been much more mindful of my energy, and I am just like, I'm on. Interesting.
Yeah. One of the things that I learned in the run up to Ninja Warrior and the triathlon championships was like, I got sick so much I couldn't eat. And I literally, I mean, I went days where I was just like, I don't care. And I felt totally fine.
Yeah.
Like, and I got on that show and I kicked ass on that. And I think I ate like in the previous 5 days, I think I ate like twice and gave like 5 pints of blood. And I was like, man, I really don't think I need all that crap that I shoved down my face like every single day. And like the
Okay.
amount of sleep, I didn't sleep for 2 of the days all night. And so I'm like, man, like I'm really reevaluating all this stuff. So I think that that might be a gift that you're getting right now, is like, you don't need 3 meals at
Okay,
all.
so just a couple of days ago, I said to my students, and sometimes I'll let it come out of my mouth. Like, I have some really insane beliefs, and I finally said out loud to them, I was like, I'm pretty sure that some of us, I can't say it's all of us, but I think that some of us full on do not need to eat. And I think I'm one of them. Like, I used to get hives a lot from stress. And I would notice that if I wasn't eating, the hives would pick up a lot. And as soon as I would eat, it would settle down. So it felt like my body was trying to expel something, and then I would interrupt it by eating. And so I on purpose just didn't eat for 5 days because I wanted to see what would happen with the hives.
Yeah.
I had one hunger pang one time the morning of day 2. I kept all my physical activity up. I kept all my work going. I kept all of my mental, like everything was fine. And Charles would look at me every day and he was like, how are you still fine? And I was like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I don't need to. And my soul had actually told me, the soul was like, you don't need to eat. It's just nice to eat. It's pleasurable. Right. So you don't actually need to. And so everything stayed the same for me for those 5 days. And then eventually I was so bored that I started eating again, but I didn't eat because I was hungry. I ate because I was bored.
It's a social thing. It's a
Yeah.
habitual thing. So hard to beat. But I'm here, like if my kids and wife, they go, during the summer, they go off sometimes during the holidays, and nothing against them at all, but like they're not here. Like I'm just like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, did I eat today?
Yeah.
Like, cause I'm just doing stuff, I'm painting, cleaning, whatever. I'm just like, I don't know. Well, I guess I could probably eat something and just make sure. But I don't care at all. Like,
I think we're finding out a theme too. One of the most disciplined and productive people that I know, he is a surgeon. So the mind is always going, the body is always up. He's constantly doing some sport. It's either tennis or free weights or running or biking. He is always doing a sport, and he only eats one meal per day, and it's always dinner. And so I think that there's also something about, if you're not having to constantly, like, we think food is giving us energy, when for a lot of us, food is actually creating, like, okay, now all of our resources need to go to digesting what we've just put into our bodies. So, and again, this is not medical advice from any of us, and everybody's chemistry is different. And I think also we're all different soul origins, right? So maybe you and I come from the souls that like don't necessarily need food, and other people come from the souls that do need food. I don't know. But I think that there are a lot of very productive people that are more productive because they eat less.
I know my mom is. I mean, that woman can drive across the whole country on on French fries. It's insane. It's incredible. She's incredible. So
Past life Irish, loving the potatoes.
yeah, ridiculous. So to answer your second question, since we spent 40 minutes on that one,
Right.
Here's the deal with the bat thing. It's gonna be public, so I gotta just not be too little nutty on this, but
We've made it this far.
so here's the deal with the bat thing. Bats operate typically at night, right? Eagles and bats share a couple of very interesting behavior characteristics where they go into the fray. And so there's this famous, like statement that eagles fly into the storm. They do, because all the other animals are like lost and chaotic and scared, and they come in and they pick them off while they're all confused and stuff. So bats are kind of like same thing. They come out at night. They have a totally, entirely different way of seeing the world with their echolocation. And they can like take out like 3,000 pests in the single night, like unbelievable amounts of numbers. They also pollinate, all this stuff. And so the role of us folks in bats is, you don't know us because we do operate where you can't see, and we see things that you cannot see. And we're here to pest control, because there's a lot of souls that are coming back prematurely, and there's a lot of like things that are happening in society that that just don't give the proper guidance to the souls that are showing up. And so they're a little, the left right boundaries, they're a little bit off. We also seed a lot, so we're here to help the culture and civilization progress. So that's why I do the AI, quantum, all that stuff. And so
Did
oh,
that
and
just come to you just now, or have you been receiving information about that? Because that had depth to it.
Yeah. And what's funny is bat poop is I don't know if you guys know about bat poop.
The guano?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. Tell me, because I only know the fun name for it. What are the details?
Well, I mean, you can look it up, but it's there's a lot of usage for it, and there seems to be some type of purpose on why the bat can take all of those pests, right? And the way that it digests in its body turns into this unbelievably rich nutrient.
Oh, so you make better. I'm going to say it. Shit.
Yeah. So if you take like bat poop and you like put plants, you like fertilize plants with it, like it's awesome.
That's very interesting. Okay. Well, thanks for being here and being very badass. Badass.
Yeah. What's weird is only a few people will get this, but like if I say if it's gonna be, let it be me. And so like something's gonna go down, let me just make sure that I'm there. Like I always, when I'm on a plane, I was like looking around, I'm like, all right, something's gonna go down on a plane anywhere in the world, let it be this one, and I'm gonna be here, and nothing's gonna happen, right? And so you'd see like Flight 93, awesome story. So those are probably like bat people. So, but there you go.
Well, okay. So to answer the person's question, are you, because you do have this ability, right? Are you going to try to proactively find them, or you just let it happen? Or do you already know who they are?
I haven't really thought about like organized, like organizing us into like a committee or an association. But it just kind of happens, like we want caves, we find a cave, we go, right? And then we're all there.
Just a natural gravitation. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's like a need, and we can see the need, and so we kind of go there. And so like I'm in a bunch of groups, and I'm like, yeah, these are all my peeps. Yeah.
You know how a pack of dragons is a thunder and a pack of crows is a murder? Now we need to know what a pack of bats is.
I'll ask online and see.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say about session 1, 2, 3, 4? Is there anything more you want to say regarding pre-talk, or is it time for us to turn on our gadgets so people can see how the magic is made? So basically what Ken and I are about to do is turn on our heart rate monitors and the recording of that, as well as turn on our very sexy headbands, the Muse headbands, to record our brain waves. So what I love about this is those who are interested can not only learn from the conversation that we're having, but if they want to get their own Muse headband, they want to get their own polar chest strap, then they can.
Yes. Yeah. And I think you're going to provide those links or whatever
in my
show
I
notes.
can. Yeah, I can. And then please use the links that I provide, because Ken, you're an affiliate for Muse, right?
I like them. So yes, I like to know if I say, hey, buy this thing, I like to know if people actually bought it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I get like $1.28, so I can get like an extra scoop of ice cream for my kids, maybe.
All right, guys, it's important. We need to get the kids the ice cream. Is it for the polar? Speaking my language. Yeah. Coconut. By the way, everybody who thinks that veganism is, not that you're vegan, I'm vegan. People who think that veganism is hard, try coconut ice cream. It's really good.
Cashew milk ice cream and avocado ice cream. If you haven't tried that, Courtney, oh my gosh. Avocado ice cream, there's no sugar in it, and it tastes unbelievable. You can make your own ice cream too, by the way. Frozen bananas, put it in a blender, boom, makes instant ice cream.
Good to know. All right.
What?
For session 6, we'll do recipes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be useful to people finally.
Oh my God. No, totally. This has been useful. Like I feel very lucky because I get to immediately get the feedback that people are giving regarding the sessions, and people are learning a lot, not only the practical things, but they're also being very inspired by your sessions. So there's that direct learning and the indirect that comes from the inspiration that we'll probably never ever hear about, but it's impacting them. So it's good. Okay. Do we turn on the gadgets now?
I'm turning on.
Okay. Let me. People will get to watch my tech prowess. Oh no. I seemed like an authority up until this moment.
Just pause the recording and they won't know anything.
No, well, I think it's funny too. I like to trailblaze, right? And so with my crew, a lot of them, they're not comfortable with technology either. And it's a very like, if I can do it, you can do it. And somebody was thinking about leading group hypnosis sessions, but they were a little bit nervous about Zoom and the technology. And no joke, he said to me, Courtney, I watched your recording of you facilitating your first Zoom session and like how bad you were at it and like how comfortable I am at it now. And he was like, if Courtney could get through all of that, I can get through all of that. So let me be an inspiration. All right. Okay. So are we going to do,
doing this again.
are we going to do the mind monitor first? Do you want to turn that on first or the heart rate monitor first? Or does it matter? I should just turn it on.
Well, it depends on what you're using to record your screen.
The screen recording will be the Polar heart rate monitor app. So should I turn on?
Okay, do that first.
Really?
Whatever your screen recording, turn on. Yeah, because I can hear your voice and I can synchronize it to the video when I'm doing the video editing.
Okay.
Whereas the thing that you're not recording, let's do it at the same time. So it helps me.
Okay. So you want me, and I won't press anything until you say go. You want me to do screen record Polar first, then go into the Mind Monitor app and turn it on and start recording, and then go back into screen recording to do Polar?
Yeah, that's cool. If you can pull it off.
We're about to find out.
Just show me on the screen. So when I'm doing this, it's helpful.
Okay. So what I'm planning to do right now is turn on screen record, then go into the Polar app, then say, I'm doing meditation, yoga, whatever that icon is. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you that I'm screen recording now? So we hit screen record at the same time, or it doesn't matter?
No, it doesn't matter as long as you're recording the audio.
I am.
Okay.
By the way, those who didn't know that you can record the audio, like the diegetic sound that's happening in the room. I didn't know that until Ken taught it to me today, that you can actually not just screen record what's on your screen, but you can also capture the audio that's happening in the room near the phone. Okay. So starting the screen recording with the audio. Okay. Going into Polar now.
Okay. You just did it.
About to do it. Okay. I am going to delete out the old. That's for those of you who have these apps based on these sessions. Polar can only retain one recording. So just make sure you have it backed up and saved before you go into your new recording. Okay. So I'm doing body and mind. Looks like a yoga person stretching and looking very limber. I'm going to hit start now. Do you want to press start at the same time or it doesn't matter?
Mine's like misbehaving.
Not going to lie. I'm praying that my muse is still charged.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm in Polar right now. Do you want to hit record at the same time or start at the same time, or it does not matter?
Yeah. 3,
Okay.
1.
Are we pressing on one, or are we pressing the second after one?
The second after 1.
So this is very funny. I just did this with Liz a couple days ago. She likes it on the number. I also like it after the number. So you're going to go 3, 2, 1, press, right?
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's what I thought too, but I'm very flexible.
All right. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1. Go.
Okay. All right. So that's going. Now you want me to go into Mind Monitor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And anybody who wants to know, Mind Monitor has a silhouette of a gentleman, and the background is sort of a goldenrod, and there are squiggly lines representing brainwaves. That's what that.
And you can see him on your screen.
Like. Not yet, no. So I'm in the part of the screen that it says connection help. So I think I need to do the thing where I like press and.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Ken and I have only done this once before, and I don't have a great recollection of it. What should I press first? I've got 2 options. One says connection help, the other one says technical manual. And I think there's a button up here or somewhere.
Yeah, you gotta turn that on first.
Is it up here?
Yeah.
Can I just hold it down?
Yeah. I thought you were doing that already. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I saw it do. things. Is it lit up the way you want it to be? Remember we had issues with this last time?
It's on the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, it can be a little finicky. Yeah, you hold it down. See how there's no light there?
It's doing the, okay. Yeah, it took us a little while to connect last time too. It's still on connection help.
Maybe close it out and open it back up.
That's what I was just thinking. Yeah. Okay. Same screen, but let's do this again. It thought about connecting and then it didn't.
Let me see your light. I don't see your light on anymore. Try it again. Let go. Yeah, do it. Push it. Just push it once. See if that does anything. Is it charged? Oh, it's going. Look at your screen. Do anything?
I am looking. Okay, so basically a hold down is not the way to go. A one press is the way to go.
All right.
It's still doing the connection help technical manual. I'm doing connection help. Am I still lit? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to close out of it again and see. No. We have, I think we're, okay. So workflow is press it, don't hold it. And then I'm at 83%. I'm good. Battery life. Okay.
Got it?
So yeah, so we've got this going. And do I need to press the red circle to say I do want to record it?
That's the data. It'll just record it to a CSV. You can do it. It's not going to hurt anything, but we want the video because we want to have people see it, you know?
Is there anything I need to do to make sure it's recording the video, or does that automatically start?
No, that's on your iPhone. You have to record the screen on your iPhone.
This is the detail that we were missing in our previous conversation.
No, you did it. That's how I got it on your last one. You recorded your video.
Oh, because Polar does hold one recording. And so that I can put into Dropbox. Those who are listening, Dropbox app on your phone is an easy way to transfer these files. Okay. Okay, so this is the screen that I am recording with.
That's if you want brainwave data, but that's not your heart rate.
But the heart rate is recording in the Polar app, correct?
Yeah, but it's not a screen. It's not a video. It's just data. It's just going to be an image. Remember we talked about this.
I know, but I didn't understand.
I know.
I understand. I have to get a second phone, don't I?
Or an iPad.
I think I have all of these things in Virginia. They will be shipped to me shortly.
I have 4 phones and 2 iPads in a Windows Surface and the laptop. So
that's a brag. Okay. All right. So pick what do you, because Ken has been doing the editing of these videos. What do you prefer? Do you want the brainwaves or do you want the Polar?
So I like this, which is it's going to show me my heart rate. It's going to show me a body battery and my stress level and my breathing rate. I think for me, I'm not your demo. I think they'll like that better than that.
What do I press on this to get where you are?
Well, this is the Garmin app.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to just move this aside. So why don't we turn on the Garmin app?
Because I don't think you have it.
I have it, but we haven't done anything with it. The Garmin Connect, the blue-gray one.
That's right.
Okay.
Oh, snap. Look at that. My screen recording can record my video camera at the same time. Oh, that is bomb. Oh, that is going to be so good for video editing.
Okay, so I have, it's squawking at me, trying to get me to do things that I'm not interested in doing. Is there something at the bottom I should be pressing to get into?
So yeah,
Where?
hit my day on the bottom left.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see on
I
the
might be in it. It's the one that's blue.
yeah,
I don't
you
know
should
that I have an account.
just go to the
Everyone
polar,
learn from
just
my
go to the
mistake.
polar app and just record your heart rate data. Or just
Okay.
do the mind. You know what? I'll do my heart rate, my stress, and stuff like that. Because it's already increasing right now as we're dealing with this.
I had this effect on Ken. It's very special that I'm able to do this to him.
So let's do that. And
We need to set this up though before we wrap today because I don't want to drive you
man,
crazy.
I am late. I should be asleep right now. Like I have to get up and train tomorrow.
Didn't we just say we don't need sleep or food? Okay, we'll do it later, but we do need to do it later. Okay, so follow your intuition. Should I be pulling up brainwaves or heart rate? I got my answer. What's your answer?
I think you just do the brainwaves
And that's
thing
the one that I got. Okay.
because I think mine's
All right.
gonna match yours,
Mhm.
and I'm the client, so I don't know.
Okay, so I've got a recording. You ready to go in?
Yeah.
All right. I'm probably going to do the same thing that I did last time in session 4, where I free flow it a little bit and check in on how you're doing rather than doing the full on induction because you probably don't need it. Okay.
Okay.
Ready? Okay. If I am recessed a little bit, can you still hear me well at this volume?
Yeah, the
Okay.
audience, might be a different for them, but
Well, you didn't change your volume. You can still hear me okay?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Ready?
Mhm.
So I'm going to go ahead and close my eyes along with you. And enjoying the feeling of having your eyes closed. And beginning to focus on your breathing, which should be deep and regular. From way down to way up. And as you're taking those nice, deep, relaxing breaths, beginning to really feel, really enjoy the nourishing oxygen that flows in with each in-breath. Beginning to really feel, really enjoy the restorative energy that flows in with each in-breath. Restorative energy that you will feel now and tomorrow. And with each exhaling breath, beginning to really feel, really enjoy the feeling of letting go, releasing, relaxing more and more with each out breath. And is enjoying that process of releasing, letting go, relaxing more and more. If you want to, allow each out breath to begin the process of loosening anything that's been in your conscious or subconscious, the squatters you referred to. Start to loosen the grip that they have. Each out breath loosens the grip more and more.
Is there a mental equivalent to like vomiting and blowing your nose?
I don't know if it's mental, but it's easier. Yawning, crying, all of these are forms of release. What are you experiencing?
This is how like we dislodge like infection is it gets surrounded by mucus and then we like get it out, right? We blow our
You
nose.
want some white blood cells for your stuff?
Yeah, so like I mean like if there's mental luggage back there that's
Mhm.
squatting, what's the function that goes in and like surrounds them in a globulous, you know, form and gets them out? Like how do we do that?
Give me a second. We're going to do the fun version, and then I think a more technical version is going to come in. Okay, here's the fun version. Are you ready?
Mm.
This is like Fantasia, where like a broom comes to life and just like gets in there. So that's the fun version. Go ahead and let that happen. And then I'm going to investigate the more technical version while you're doing that. Let me know how you're doing and when that's complete, okay?
Mm. But wait, I mean, so it's sweeping, but where is this stuff going?
Out.
Where?
So the spiritual folks love the word transmute. So basically that means that it's like the bat guano. It takes the pest and then it transforms or transmutes it into something that is beneficial. It spits it out as something good.
But a
So it's
broom's not doing that. A broom is putting it somewhere. Where's it going to be changed?
okay. So pretend you're in your house and you're sweeping. What
Mm.
you would do is you would open up a door. You could do the dustpan version of it if you want to, but that's not necessary. You could just open up the door and let the broom just kick it out of the exit. So just allow an opening, a path of
Like,
egress.
but my brain is a closed system.
It doesn't have to be. Remember we talked about that there's the tangible, there's the material, and then there's everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So let the everything else help. It can come out of your nostrils.
Thanks.
If you're demanding it, I have solutions. Because we know that that is actually an opening, right?
Yeah.
Stuff can go up and get to the brain. Stuff from the brain can go out and down. That's perfect with the exhale also. Exhale through your nostrils.
Okay.
How you doing?
Yeah. Good.
Ready for the more technical? I don't know all of the terminology, but there's something they're showing me, so I'm sure we're on to something. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
So you know what telomeres are, right?
Yep.
And that if you take good care of yourself, you can strengthen those. They're not frayed, they're healthy, they have all those good connections, you reverse aging, et cetera, et cetera. So
Mhm.
it feels like, even though I don't know the terminology, it feels like if you do that reverse aging, the defraying of the telomeres, you're cleaning your stuff up, right? The
Mhm.
unhealthy things are not present. So because I don't know the terminology, all I can say is whatever it is that creates a cleaning up such that the strengthening of the telomeres, the re-lengthening, the re-solidifying of the telomeres can happen. Like ask for that process to happen, even though I don't have the terms for it. Regenerative.
Okay. A lot of things meaningful to me are occurring in my head, so this is good stuff.
Okay. You want to narrate it or keep it to yourself?
Well, for some, just quick, I mean, for some reason, I really can't talk about a lot of things, but um, interesting occurrence happened a few days ago that had something to do with the way the body fights infection. And I wanted to learn more. And so I really spent about 4 hours learning about the human immune system. I was just absolutely fascinated. I mean, absolutely fascinated. And so as you're telling me this, I now have a better understanding because I had that impulse to really learn about how it functions. It's unbelievable. So that's what's happening in my head is I'm going over those key terms and those things and like how it can, like how it makes sense to me what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, let me ask this question because again, I'm not an expert, but I'm aware of the idea that white blood cells, like they come in and it seems like a nuisance, but what they're actually trying to do is surround the virus, the bacteria, the whatever. They're trying to surround it, gang up on it, and defeat it and kick it out. I don't know that that happens in the brain, but I'm not sure. Do you want to ask what is the brain equivalent of that and ask for that to happen?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it gets fried.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
a fun idea to let the positive parts of your brain strengthen so much that it actually zaps and fries the squatters.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they're two different frequencies, and when two different frequencies interact, it causes dissonance, and one of them, whichever has the highest amplitude, wins. You know, basically, is the signal that is received.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if you can like inverse. So this is very interesting. So how you cancel a frequency out is you create an inverse frequency and you overlay it, and then you get nothing. That's how these earbuds that I have right here work. You know,
Oh, is that
the
what the noise cancellation process is?
noise cancellation process is it has a microphone on the outside and it listens for the frequency, the noises, and then it creates inverse frequencies in your ear through the speaker. And so you don't hear anything. It cancels it out. So I wonder if we can do that, create an inverse like energy on whatever the luggage is.
Sure. Well, let's ask, is the zapping complete?
I think I got, like I need to tell it where to go. What am I?
Would you like to use nostrils again, or do you want to do something that is less material?
No, I mean, where do we turn the inverse? Like, I need to identify the luggage.
Okay, so you do want to find out what are the squatters? What is the luggage? You
I mean,
ready?
I guess if I don't have to,
You do not have to, but you need to follow your intuition. If you want to, we should.
I don't know if I want to. I don't know.
Shall we ask that question? And what is the greatest benefit of all? And just find out, like, should you know on a conscious level or no, it's unnecessary? You want me to say the sentence for you?
I think I got it. Is if I am as enlightened as I hope to be, I can find out. If I'm not as enlightened as I hope to be, then I don't want to find out because then I might hold on to it. You know what I'm saying?
I do. Can I play angel's advocate?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a matter of being enlightened or not. I think it's a matter of, is this purposeful? Is it useful or not?
I don't think it's purposeful.
Okay, that's the answer. I mean, you can be enlightened all day long, and sometimes the enlightened thing is like, it doesn't matter either way. It's just like, what's most purposeful. So we stay subconscious and make it, this is a more efficient way to release things too. You go to bed earlier because of it. You ready?
I think some stuff's happening. So
I'm going to be quiet.
So the way that we do this is to gain clarity. And I don't know if the word, but a solid foundation on what it is that I'm working to. And that's the inverse frequency that will disrupt all the luggage.
Hmm.
So my athletics stuff is on unshaky ground, or on shaky ground, unstable ground.
What do you mean? Your athletics?
Yeah.
Why?
I think that there's like a part of my team that just views it as unnecessary anymore.
Spirit realm or earth team?
Well, my spirit team. Yeah,
Okay. Shall we double check?
sure.
Yeah, let's find out what's the latest information on the athletics.
Um, it's kind of like doing like I want my world championship title. Like I want that. I want that to live with me for the rest of my life. And um I guess they're just kind of saying like you don't really need that. Like you think you're gonna really, really care about it, but we got this other stuff that you probably should get working on now and stop delaying because I spent a lot of time training.
Mm. You want to hear the first question that came to me, which is, how many do you need?
That's it. Just one next year. That's it. I'm good. I'm happy.
Let me rephrase. You've already accomplished so much. Like, how many more accomplishments do you really need?
You mean athletically?
Yeah. It's sort of a rhetorical question where it's like, you've already accomplished a lot. Does one more thing really matter? And if the answer is yes, that's fine.
I mean, on the physical plane, yeah, man. Like
Okay.
to go like almost 20 years in this and not have culminated in that.
Okay.
I know I can do it.
Okay. Well, why don't we ask them to manipulate time for you so that you can have the best of both worlds, that you achieve it, and you also have time for other things. How are you feeling in your body right now, by the way? Like for the last 5 minutes, how have you been feeling?
Fine, centered.
Whew, okay, well, that's great.
Why?
I've been feeling a lot of pressure in my prefrontal cortex, and then also in, you know how if one has a ton of anxiety, they feel like this tension in their chest, like center chest, upper abdomen, that area.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've been getting to feel.
Your chakra right there?
I don't know that a chakra
Solar
is there. It
chakra?
seems like it's I always think of that as being more toward the abdomen. It's kind of like the diaphragm area.
Yeah, you got chakra there too.
Oh, okay.
So you have pressure there.
Yeah. I assumed it was related to your experience, but it might not be since you're not feeling it.
I am like a rock on this. Really, I feel like I guess like I feel like I deserve this. And
Mhm.
maybe that's the problem. So maybe I just need to view it in a different way and it'll be just, a little bit better.
Do you want to ask if there's a different perspective that would be more beneficial?
I think I know it,
Okay.
like our conversation on the different kind of training and a little bit like a lot less volume and maybe that's what I need to learn.
Well, you know how we were talking earlier about being really clear and descriptive in the request making, the wish making?
Yep.
Do you want to practice that now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you can make the wish out loud if you want to, or keep it to yourself. It's up to you.
Like on this topic.
If that's what you want to start the practicing with, I mean, we might as well, but it's up to you.
Okay. Hey, I'm just kind of sitting here.
Something helped though. I went from the anxious feeling to a very calm feeling. Is it the right time to ask them what the future looks like based on what you just asked for?
Okay. Uh, just looks like a lot of the same.
What about the time?
What do you mean?
Because that's the thing that we're changing most is the time manipulation so that you can get everything accomplished.
Okay. That looks good. I think I gotta stay more focused on that.
The time manipulation.
All right, so here's some luggage. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
The biggest, most massive stress in my life is the feeling of not having enough time left.
I honestly think that when it comes down to it, the most successful people, this is always like the final thing. They figured out everything else but time. You want to hear what I do and it works really, really well?
Yeah.
It's going to sound too simple, but it works very well. Make wishes. Like, just ask exactly for what you want. Like, ask for something to be done at a certain time. Like, it's very easy to get specific with that. So just give it a specific time. Ask for them to surprise you with how they're going to pull something off. It's really remarkable the way that they will figure out how to fix things for you, or speed things up. Or, I mean, it's like one of those things where every light turns green, like one of those things. They did it once for me with a time zone change. I was seasick and I never get seasick. And I was supposed to be on that boat for an hour and a half. And I said to the universe, I was like, I don't care how you do it. I cannot do this for an hour and a half. Like, you have to manipulate time for me. And then I checked my phone a few minutes later and an hour was gone. And it was because we changed time zones and it was only a 30-minute boat ride instead of a 90-minute boat ride. So like, they do a lot of wild stuff for you. And this one is very, very easy. So go ahead and visualize like a classic analog clock with the hands, the minute, the second, the hour hands. Tell me when it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Have everything go to high noon.
Mm-hmm.
Ready? Now, I've been told you can't reverse rotate more than 3 times. Bullshit. I always push it. You can reverse more than that. What you're going to do is take the time, the hands, and you're going to go counterclockwise when you want to slow things down. And what that means is you get more done in an hour because the hour felt very slow. So you were able to just like crush it and get thing after thing after thing done. Because yeah, like you can lose an hour and you're like, where did the hour go? This is the opposite. It's a very slow hour, so you can get a lot done. Have the hands go counterclockwise, 1 rotation. Really feel it. Really feel it like you're moving energetically something. Let me know when that first rotation is done.
Just a minute hand.
All of them. They can all go at the same time.
So I'm going back like 12 hours.
Yeah, 1 rotation.
Okay.
Complete?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, energetically, really feel it.
Yep.
Now go for second rotation and see how that feels.
Okay.
Complete?
Yep.
And just keep going until you feel so much resistance that you're like, I've maxed out. That's my limit.
Getting past 6 is hard.
Yeah, the person who told me I think is different than us. I can do 4 and then push it into 5. I've never done 6. You got to 6?
I can do more.
Go as long as you want.
Like at 12, it's like I mean, just time is just like there's nothing there anymore.
Yeah, I was wondering if you would break it, like in a good way, like dissolve it.
It's I mean, it's like I'm floating in dark matter in the universe.
I'm going to sit quietly. I want you to receive what you're meant to receive in that state and let go of what you're meant to let go in that state. Okay.
It seems as though like there's everything and all that at the same time everywhere.
You like it?
I really wasn't equipped. So, there seems to be an acquired skill by going into this thing, finding out, getting knowledge, and then coming back in a time dominant world. So I can go in there, see the future, but come back and not know when that was or is
Mhm.
or will be, however that works.
Time's not real. Everything's happening all at once. So
So, okay.
that's why if in a traditional way, it would take you 6 years to get to a goal. If you do something like this, you can pull it forward into something that is faster, but still comfortable.
This does not want to go forward very well, does it?
Talk to me about what you're experiencing. I might be able to help.
I mean, so I went in there and like it was just everything. And I walked in there without a clear vision. And so I like didn't have the right plate, you know. And so there's like a buffet of knowledge. I didn't have the right receipt, receiving thing. So I left there and trying to move the clock forward to go into the future. And it's like does not want to. The gears are getting all bounded up and everything.
Ready to do something?
Yeah.
Because everything is happening now. Let's have you in that receiving area where you didn't have the right plate. Are you in there?
I gotta turn the clock back.
No, you don't. Just go there. It's all happening now. Just put yourself there. You there?
Yeah, it's hard.
We're going to do something.
I think I'm in.
Okay. There's going to be a portion of you, a percentage of you that is in that receiving area without the right plate. Holding, like bookmarking it, like holding space in it. Now, I want another percentage of you to go back to what you should have done to acquire the right plate.
Just have the right question, have the right vision.
Okay. So what is it?
I mean, I had something.
Do you want to say it or is it private?
Yeah, it's kind of private.
Okay. Just tell me when it's complete, the right question, the right vision is complete, and then I'll take you to the next step.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Now, like a rubber band that's been pulled, because there are these two parts of you, right? I want the part that just got the right equipment for the right plate to snap back into the part that was holding space in that receiving area. So
Okay.
the two of you are now whole.
Okay.
Okay, you have the right plate.
Yep.
Let's see what they give you.
I got it. Yeah.
You want to talk about it or it stays private?
Private.
Okay. Is everything complete in the receiving area? Like, is your plate full?
Just on that one vision, yeah. And it basically, it's interesting. It's just like you can have this is how you do it, and this is how it works, and there you go. But the topic was not really, it wasn't my choice, it just kind of like showed up.
Can we do it again, but with a public question so we can walk people through the process? Remember in session 2 when they said they want you to teach the things that you learn, that you're meant to pay it forward?
Okay, so I think the the fitness struggle is something that everyone deals with and can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm a little different, but yeah, I'm trying to get to a place. I want to get to a place to where I'm on that podium.
Yeah.
And I'm so far ahead of anyone else that I want to take a shower before second place comes in.
Nice.
You know,
You're the one that cracks the 4-minute mile where everyone thought it was impossible, but you do it first.
yeah.
So, do you want to begin the process and do step by step and narrate it out loud and say like, okay, you get the clear vision, the clear question, then you rotate the clock back 12 times and you just sort of dissolve time?
Yeah, so I'm doing this. So I'm walking up to the clock. I got my vision is the wrong vision is the material aspect. The right vision is I have become the person that just happens to be in that good of shape and have learned to do the things that it takes to be there, and but also do it.
Yeah.
And so that's how you earn it, is you have to be it before it starts. So I have to, what's the world champion doing today? Well, he's in a hypnotherapy session, right? Getting rid of luggage. So
Mm-hmm.
what's what's the world champion doing at 5 o'clock tomorrow? So I mean, I live that way. So I'm walking in, I'm turning that clock, and I'm confident, and I have the clear vision and desire in my head of, I want to encapsulate that in myself and never leave it. I never want to drop that. Never want to go back.
Yeah.
Okay. And the clock was very fast. Okay. So right now, anxiety is big because acting out of need versus want is a big difference. And that affects the body, that affects the mind, and the training will not be good. So the body can't grow and go to where you want it to be if you need it. If you're like, I need to do this, I have to do this thing, the body will protect itself against that.
You mean sort of that, and correct these word choices if they're not the right ones, but sort of that like desperate manic, like I need it, I need it, I need it. Like, do you mean that's the thing the body would resist against?
More of like, oh my God, like I have to lose this weight. Or if I don't, like, for me, like walking around not a world champion is embarrassing right now. And I have to drop that because I'm every day I'm giving myself this debt that I have to zero out.
Yeah.
And so for me, like, I want to work up to this thing, not meet this expectation. And so I have to view it, well, it's better to view it in a more playful sense of like, I'm going to love the journey to become that person. And I think that's the mistake that a lot of people make, is they view it as very anxious and they see the cookie and they do it and they're so upset with themselves when, who cares? It doesn't matter. So you build those things into your plan. Okay, Friday's my fun day. I'm going to eat cookies or whatever. And actually, it's way better that way because you're not stressed about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I got
Some
a couple
stress.
things. Yeah.
I miss a workout and I'm stressed or like whatever, and it actually destroys my gains.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened to me this year.
I have 3 things going on in the noggin. Do you want to hear them?
Yeah.
Oh man, where do we start? I'm just going to go with my intuition. Okay. So remember, time's not real, right? So there's a version of you that is already the world champion. Like it's already, in a very practical sense, it's already happened.
That's right.
And rather than you being this version of Ken that's trying so hard to move forward into that version of Ken, invite the world champion version of Ken that already exists and is already very comfortable and confident in that role to actually come back into you now, so that the two of you move forward together and you have all of that history like already built within you.
Well, that's good. Okay. Because that's what I do with my rank. Because like I'm not stressed about my rank anymore. In the military. And I just kind of like walk around like I'm a colonel. And I don't need it at all. I don't need it at all.
Yeah.
It'd be nice and I could do a lot of cool stuff, but I want to have that. I think I should need, to have that perspective on this, which is like step into I'm already a world champion. Cause I used to do that, man. I used to just be like, show up to races, be like, yeah, I'm gonna win this race. And just whatever. And that was so much fun.
You want to hear the second thing? It's very
Yes.
related. Okay. So you know how we both like Alex Hormozy?
Yep.
So he talks about this, that the best games, the most important games are games that really cannot be won, right? So like life, there's really no like, oh, I won. Like who against who? There's no winning or losing. You're just, if you are having fun, like you're enjoying your life, you're just enjoying the game.
Yeah.
So knowing that world champion can be part of enjoying the game, do you want to ask to be energetically shifted into, yes, world champion happens, but there's also just a pure enjoyment of the game itself rather than the outcome?
Yes, I'm seeing those images right now. Okay. Yeah.
What are you seeing them through, the mind or the heart?
The heart.
Yeah, I'm getting like a lot of sensation there. Okay. Okay. Let me know when that feels complete and we'll do the third thing that came in. What color are you getting right now?
Say it again.
What color are you getting right now?
I think I was getting one until you said it, but it's kind of like an orangey kind of color.
Yeah, I just got like a neon green.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a color I get. So you go ahead and absorb the orange color. I'll take in the green. Okay. That was impromptu. I guess we had 4 things we were going to do. You ready for the other one? Number 3?
Yep.
Okay. This was taught to me recently. I have found it to be extremely helpful. You know, when you incarnate, you tend to have a purpose, a mission, a plan, etc. Some of us, I'm willing to bet you are in this category, and we'll find out. Some of us have just worked the shit out of our advancement. Like, we just don't stop. Like, we just keep advancing and moving forward. And some of us do it to the point where we end up off script. Like, we already blew past the original script. Shall we find out if you're still on script, or if you've actually already advanced to the point where you're in like the blank pages section of the book?
I think I'm most certainly in all the blank pages.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So
I
this
see,
is-
like, what's the hanging man card? Like, this guy's like upside down.
the Fool.
The fool.
I don't know astrology that well, but the way that I associate the Fool is it's a really good one, even though that's kind of counterintuitive. I think the Fool, what he's known for is that he steps into the unknown really well to achieve a dream. He just goes for it.
So I have, like, this dude's hanging upside down and everyone thinks he's a fool, but he's in total control and he's having a fun time.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how I do work now, is because I feel like I'm a crown. I just act like it and everyone treats me like it. And I don't care. Like, if there's actual colonels or generals or whatever, I just treat them like people, because I'm like, what's this guy gonna do? Take away my birthday? I don't care. Like, you can't, I'm a made man now. And so, like, this is the lesson here, is if I'm the world champion already, I'm having fun because it's done.
Yeah. You want to hear some fun everyday stuff
Yeah.
with the unscripted part?
Yeah.
If it's unscripted and you're in a new chapter, it means it's being written right now, which means you get to break every old rule, every old pattern, every old habit, every old whatever that you used to do, because the pen is in your hand now. And so as soon as I learned that about myself, like, I used to lay in bed for like an hour and be like, I guess I have to start the day. And as soon as I found that out about myself, the next morning I was like, I don't lay in bed for an hour anymore. I get up and I fucking go. And that's been life ever since, because I decided to rewrite that chapter, or not chapter, but rewrite the beginning of the day. So if you have stuff and you're like, I don't like this, be like, oh, I can rewrite it and do it differently now.
Yes.
I'm getting strawberries coming in like so hard right now. I figure I should say something.
I love strawberries. They're nightshade. It's good. Good stuff.
Well, you were mentioning being drawn to the night. I know it's a little bit different, but let's ask, like, why are strawberries coming in? And if there's anything that would be a benefit to you.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Unless you got it.
Well, maybe we both got it. What'd you get?
So my most favorite cone, whatever you want to pronounce it, Buddhism,
Yeah, go on.
is when a dude is he's walking through the forest and a tiger comes and he's like, oh my God, this tiger is going to get me. And the tiger's like sitting there and he starts running. So the tiger chases him and he gets to a cliff. And in, like, a nanosecond, he's got to think about, okay, do I turn around, face this tiger, or do I jump off this cliff? So he jumps off the cliff and he catches this root as he's falling down off this cliff, and he's holding it with one hand, and there's a strawberry at the end of the root. And he takes his hand off of the root and grabs a strawberry and eats a strawberry. And it's the most delicious strawberry he's ever had in his life. But what the koan doesn't tell you is like he took his hand off the root, he fell to his death, right? But he had that strawberry. It's one of my most favorite ones.
Where do you land on that story? Are you in favor of eating the strawberry and falling to your death? Or are you in favor of not dying and not getting the strawberry?
Well, here's the deal. It doesn't say that he doesn't die if he doesn't grab the strawberry. And so
Ooh, good
holding on to the
point.
root, and you can hold on to this root and be totally stressed that you're hanging on this root and there's a tiger up there. And
Mhm.
eventually you're going to fall to your death, or you take total control and you enjoy your way out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so this dude took total control.
Yeah.
And so normally not supposed to tell people, some of the in profundity of the stories, but that one took me like several years, 3 or 4 years to figure out. And I love that every time I see a strawberry, I think about it.
That's really nice. A symbol
So
of, did you really live or not? Did you really enjoy your life or not?
that's right. And on your terms,
Yeah.
like dude's going down. He's like, man, God, that's a great strawberry.
I think your story and what I got are related, but you're going to have to be the one who decides that. Do you want to hear?
Yeah.
My team is coming in strong for this one. Like when I get the wheeze, like it's my team basically talking. Are you ready?
Mhm.
Okay, wait. Let the Courtney of it say the preface first, and then I'll let them talk. So, you know how not all strawberries are created equal. Like you could get just a garbage grocery store, like it's more white, light pink than it
Mhm.
is actually like red and juicy and what a strawberry should be.
Mhm.
And why? Like they're both strawberries technically. And really it's because that red, rich, juicy, sweet strawberry grew in the right environment, right? And then the
Mhm.
garbage strawberry did not grow in the right environment. And so what we, Courtney's team, what we need to know is, are you in every facet of life in the most optimal environment for you to be the reddest, juiciest, ripest, sweetest strawberry?
Absolutely not.
So we need you, and this can all stay private, but we need you to really go through like all of those areas. And does it pass the strawberry test? And if it does, awesome, keep it. If it doesn't, a course correction really should be made. And we can help you. So you just need to ask us. And it does not need to be out loud. It can be an internal asking.
Yeah. I mean, for me, where does it end? And so, my mom brought us up where it's like you got to turn around and make it work for you. So whatever situation you're in can actually be an advantage if you view it that way, and when Bannister broke the 4 minute mile, I mean, he didn't have anything special. He's running down the hallways and going out to the track in between classes. And so I don't, yeah, there's a lot of truth to that because, where I live is stressful for me and the family, very stressful every day,
Mhm.
very busy, it's very loud, and it's cramped. And the number one thing we all want as a family is a home with a yard. So, no, you know, but it's cheap, like I'm putting away a lot of cash to my
Mhm.
kids' bank accounts, you know. I don't know the
If
answer to
you
that.
were in an improved environment, do you think you could actually create new revenue streams so that the amount of money that's going toward your children would actually improve?
I think there's a potential there. Yeah.
So what we want you to do, and you can be specific with it, is we want you to make the request, the wish, that whatever it is that will unlock that for you, that you begin to perceive the new idea that will open you up to a better environment, a better future, a better outcome. Not soon, but now.
I don't, I don't know if I'm connected anymore.
What's happening?
I don't know. You may have to like put me under again.
No, not necessary. I'm getting a major twitch in my right cheek. So I'm curious about what's going on there. You don't need another induction. It's trust me on this, it's totally unnecessary. What was the last thing that was happening when things were flowing?
I just, like I feel a lot of like pain associated with where we live with our kids because they just, we yell at them, because we have neighbors that are under us. We're in a townhome and they're running around, they're jumping, and it really hurts me to tell them they can't do it. And then it creates stress between me and them and them. And going outside is dangerous because people drive through the parking lots at 50 miles an hour. I mean, it's just, it affects our relationship, that was what was happening. We're going to move, the move is going to be a real pain in the ass, and the interest rates are real high. There's all this material stuff. And I'm in DC area. It's $1 million for a house, like.
So the block is, there's a bit of a disbelief as far as a potential, like a better near future situation.
I guess so. And, I don't know if I don't want to stay here, so, get a house and then move again. Like that. I mean, what's worse, being in here for another year or 2 years, or moving twice? One of them I have to pay for. Or, I don't know. I don't have clarity on that. It's stressful.
That's why we're asking you to open up to a new perception, because current you does not have clarity. And you don't need to get the clarity right now. What you need to do is make the request to have it.
Right.
And we have a very simple question. Have the downstairs neighbors complained about the noise that the kids make?
Once.
And
That's it. They told them to stop playing the drums, and that was it.
oh, so they can do everything other than play drums.
No, but they're very nice people and they're probably not going to complain. But I'm in the garage and I can hear my kid running in his bedroom on the 4th floor, and they live in between those. And I'm like, oh my God, it's got to be really loud. I don't know, maybe they don't care, but my
That's
friend
where we're
used,
landing with this. It's a big bunch of who cares.
well, I mean,
we
the yard and everything too, and
hear you. The yard thing can happen second, but the first thing is those neighbors are adults that need to learn how to regulate their own emotions. Their emotions do not need to be prioritized over the kids.
that's a true statement.
Yeah. So you're selecting whose emotions are more important.
Yes.
And so if they complain again, you can just say, hey, from the hours of, this time in the morning to this time in the evening, we're going to let them be kids. We promise that we'll have them be quiet in the early morning hours and the late night hours. Seems like a totally fair compromise. Should the topic ever come up.
I actually did that, so yes.
Okay. Yeah. And so just let them have fun during those hours. And they're kids, so they would probably go to bed pretty early. So it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's just the weekends,
Yeah.
no, I get it. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. And even if they do complain again, may we be thugs for a second? Who cares? What's going to happen?
Nothing. They can't do anything. It's
Yeah. And are we really prioritizing the emotions of people that don't have compassion for little children who are just trying to have a nice time?
I get it. It would be absolutely unbearable for me, but maybe they don't care as much.
Yeah. There's something that, this is Courtney, there's something that my team really got through to me a few years ago. And it was just this statement of consider the possibility that everything is okay. So rather than stressing about, can the neighbors hear this? Are they upset about it? Just consider the possibility that everything is okay.
Okay. I'm good on that one.
Yeah. And even if they are dicks, consider the possibility that everything is okay regarding that too.
Okay.
Yeah. For those who are watching, Ken's kids are really little and very cute and sweet. It's not, we're not talking about like 16-year-olds that are they're really little. They're like 2 and 5, I think.
Yeah, 2 and 6. Yeah.
Yeah, they're itty bitty and very sweet. All right, we want to know if there are any other wishes that you would like to make about your environment. Again, please do not concern yourself with if things seem feasible. Just make a specific wish.
Okay.
And just let us know when it's complete.
Okay.
You good?
Yep.
Anything else for today?
Maybe a little bit more about like career stuff.
Sure. Wish making or answers that you would like?
Guess maybe answer.
Okay. Ask it out loud if you want to, or keep it private if you want to.
I guess is it time for a move like out of my uniform, or is it like or do I need to like stay in?
Mm-hmm. And how would you like for them to answer?
I just, I guess like I don't want to go against the grain, man. So if I'm meant to stay in and crush it, I just want to know. If I'm meant to get out and crush it, like I want to know. So I
Okay.
can just do it.
Yeah. So let's just ask them for a very clear, direct answer.
All right.
You gonna say it or keep it private?
So I've done a lot of work trying to change things from the inside, and they just said that you were very successful. And one of my main goals is to always work myself out of a job. And so they think that I did that, and that there's going to be a lot of people who will be able to do good things, and the the nation's in good hands. And if you stay in, you're going to be frustrated for many more years. Yeah, you'll make rank and all that stuff, and that will be honorable, but you can also leave and do awesome stuff too, and be able to watch your kids like grow up. I just love to be able to just stay home.
Yeah. Yeah. I got one word as the answer, and it was the word out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You feel comfortable with that?
Not yet.
Would you like to?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's all I know. Being in 20 years, I don't know anything else. And it's scary,
I have strategies. Would you like to hear some?
Sure.
Okay. If you like this, what you can do is you can ask for, you know how there are time release medicines?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what you can do is ask for a time release of you getting comfortable, prepared, etc., where you're not going to have to be hit with the 0% to the 100% comfortability all in this nanosecond. You can ask for, let's say today you become 5% open and comfortable with the idea, and then maybe tomorrow it's 7.5%, and so on. So there is an opening to the idea, a comfortability with the idea, but in a way at a pace that feels very good to you. Want to do it that way?
Okay.
Yeah. So just ask them to begin the process at a percentage that feels very comfortable and is also productive, and say that you're open to it continuing.
Okay.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else that you want to experience or know or anything today?
Give me an Easter egg.
You want it to be known now?
What do you mean?
The Easter egg?
Yeah.
This is so funny. I actually typed this morning that I took a picture of an Easter egg. I'm not
Oh my
joking.
God. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I
Yeah.
don't know where that came in, but for the audience, do they know what an Easter egg is?
I'll go ahead and say my version of it. It's basically that I think of it in terms of movies, and I know that there are other ways to think of it, but in a movie, what a director will do is put in something that's special, and the audience is able to find it, and that's an Easter egg. So it's kind of like if you go on an Easter egg hunt, there's this really like special, amazing thing that's hidden from plain sight, but if you look, you can find it. And so directors do that a lot, where there's special hidden things that are in there. So for example, an Easter egg could be that the director puts on a contract, like his wife's birthday. Like that would be a fun little Easter egg. So things like that.
Yeah.
Want to
Video.
hear the Easter egg that I got this morning?
Yeah.
It's very funny. So the sun was rising, and there was this weird color of the sky. The sky was basically white. And it was so strange. There were no clouds. So it's a cloudless day, but it's a white sky. It's very strange. So I'm taking a picture facing into the sun. So it's one of those pictures where you're basically blinded while you're taking the picture. So you don't really know what you've just captured until you look at the picture in the shade. So I'm doing that, and just perfectly in the bottom center of the frame is a very cute dog taking a shit with the turd about halfway out.
Yeah, it's a good Easter egg.
It's a chocolate Easter egg.
That's right.
So
Right.
there's just like this funny, humorous thing that as I'm looking at this picture where I'm like, oh my gosh, this like amazing spiritual, like, whoa, what's with this white sky? It's so magnificent. And there's a dog taking a shit, like just so perfectly. It looked like I took a picture of a dog taking a shit. Like that's how perfectly in the center it is. Yeah. So shall we ask, like, what's your Easter egg today?
Sure, if that wasn't enough, all right.
There can be more than one. I think they're playing with excrement. I think it's tied to the bat guano. I think that there's something very special that's within something that looked unpleasant, was digested, and came out better. I think that your Easter egg is in the bat guano.
Hmm. That totally apparently clear.
Do you know what I got?
Yeah.
So you know how there are a variety of daisies?
Mm-hmm.
And imagine the one where it's a bit of a dark center, like a dark brown center, and the petals are that deep orangey red with a highlight of yellow on the tips. Yeah, on the tips. They said it doesn't matter. The highlight of yellow could be on the tips or could be on the inner part, near the face of the daisy. And what's special about that flower, you know, with Chat GPT, you do a good job of finding Easter eggs within the searches. The thing that's special about daisies is they are part of, and I don't know the exact full name of this, but it's the aster something something. And so the daisies are from a family that basically says stars, like they're from the stars. So yeah, look up that type of daisy, what the spiritual symbolism is, look up the scientific name of it, and break down what that name means as well.
Okay.
And have you been improving your relationship with the sun?
I lay in the sun.
Yeah, they want you to keep doing that. Seems important. I
Yeah.
forgot to mention it when they were showing me the strawberry stuff. Want to get some nice energy from the sun, and then when that concludes, we'll bring you back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And continuing just like you were in the induction, continuing to exhale anything out that does not serve you. And that can just keep going. Doesn't need to stop when you open your eyes, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You ready to start to come back?
Mm-hmm.
All right, just sending a lot of love and gratitude to your team and allowing them to reciprocate and to send their love and their appreciation to you as well. You just let me know when that feels complete.
Okay.
All right. You ready to start to come back?
Yeah, they put me in the tumbler for a minute there.
You good?
Yep.
All right. So beginning the process of coming back now to this time, this place. I don't know if you're in that rubber ball. I normally say the cozy cushions underneath you, like the bouncy rubber ball underneath you, and beginning to return your focus to your body. And then also know that when you come back, you'll be able to do all of your day-to-day activities just fine, just like normal. And you'll also come back in a way where this access, this connection, all of this opening will stay open at whatever percentage feels good to you. You'll continue to have your perceptual shifts, your opening, your expanding, all of the positive things will continue to grow and flourish. And all of that releasing in a very comfortable way will continue to occur very naturally and easily, imperceptibly through the out breath. It'll be very easy for you. Only the benefits will be known. And beginning to come back even more now. Returning your focus to your body, beginning to wiggle your fingers, your toes, your hands, your feet, returning your focus to your breathing, really feeling the enlivening, nourishing, enriching energy that flows in with each in-breath. And knowing that while it is very nourishing and very enlivening and very rejuvenating, you in a few minutes will fall asleep very easily. You won't need much time at all because you are being rejuvenated right now as we speak, and you will rejuvenate very quickly throughout the night. You ready to open your eyes?
Mm-hmm.
All right, opening your eyes now. I hope Questy knows I'm alive.
Hmm?
I said, I hope Questy knows I'm alive. I was supposed to have a meeting with her 36 minutes ago.
Oh my God.
Questy, I'm so sorry.
Aren't you going to eat or something too?
Yeah, right? I actually am not even hungry. Eating is, for those who don't know, I haven't eaten today. Although, twist, I realized I had some almonds in the cupboard, so I did have some almonds.
A group of bats is called a camp.
CAMP, camp.
Colony camp. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, I love too that we were talking about electrical currents and things like that when it comes to the brain. And so there's amperes in camp. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling? You look so tired.
It's a lot. Oh, this is what I wanted to say too on some of the talk is after these sessions, they're like workouts for me. I notice my brainwave data at night, I'm in REM like a lot more. And so the body doesn't heal as much. And I have to take like a nap. Like I will fall asleep like at work tomorrow. Like I'll be like, and so like there's certainly definitely things going on, rewiring of whatever it is. So that's what I've noticed. I'm very sensitive to my body and I can tomorrow's gonna be hard to wake up. Like I can feel just because there's like things going on.
So I want you to ask them now, and when you're going to bed, I want you to ask them to do it differently for you so that all of the positive things continue to happen and you also get more rest.
Okay.
Totally possible. And then you
Right.
can report back in session 6 and let us know if it worked.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else
Yes.
you want to say for the recording, or no, you're good?
Mm-hmm. When you end your screen thing, let's do it at the same time.
Okay. So I'm assuming you're going to do the 3, 2, 1, then we press.
Ready?
Wait. This is the screen recording.
Yes. Ready?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1, stop. Ooh, yeah.
And then mine, I think, stops immediately.
Your muse.
Looks good.
Ready?
Yeah. What's the, how do I turn it off? Is it the red dot?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, stop. I gotta make a note that this is gonna make it easier. I just match up the end of the recordings instead of the beginning.
I'm getting a message that says warning, pre-existing recording found. Select to retry Dropbox upload. Delete all or cancel.
There's like no like rename. Shit. I can't read it, but just do what you think you should do. Delete all, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Because I already gave it to you in the Dropbox folder, remember?
Yeah. All right. Tell me when you end it.
Oh, well, I'm going to hit delete all. I think that,
Yeah, hit it.
Okay, hitting it now.
Got it. All right.
Good.
Yeah, cool.
Should this still be doing all of this?
Yeah, it's just not recording.
Okay. How
Take
do
it off
you
your
know
head
if
at
it's
all.
recording or not?
Because you hit the red button.
It doesn't give you anything else to go by?
Whether it's currently recording.
Yeah, it's just, it seems like the same red button the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I screen recorded it, so we have that at a minimum. So. Well, my brainwaves are really flat right now, so I guess that's my level of genius I'm bringing to this conversation. Okay. All right. I think we're good. And then, shouldn't we do something about polar?
Well, were you recording?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Still going.
Oh. Okay. Oh no, this is great. 3, 2, 1.
Training
All right.
lasted 1 hour, 29 minutes, 51 seconds.
Oh, I got 1:29:52.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit the stop button.
Okay.
Training stop.
What was your average heart rate?
69.
77.
Damn.
And what was your max?
I don't think I have that.
You don't have it in your red box?
Well, I don't use that one. I use Garmin.
Oh. All right. Okay. Next session, we have to make sure I have the Garmin set up. My max was 109.
Good gracious. I'm gonna try to let's look at it, see if I can pull it up. 80.
Where's your spike? I have 3. Oh, you don't get to see it the same way I get to see it.
I have it both on our Muse. and on this.
Okay. I'm looking at the polar spikes.
You got the last two that look like you got a big one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Why can't I make that bigger, man? What's going on? Yeah, so this is my, you're not be able to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see if I pull up my government one. Oh, here it is. Got it.
You want me to turn off the Zoom recording? Or is there more you want to share?
You can turn it off.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.